It depends on how quickly we turn into network television.
Yeah.
5 years.
We go, platforms are different networks and different shows are on different networks. It's not any different. So it just depends on what route society takes.
It is a little bit different in the sense that, like, you know, when Friends switched networks back in the day, you know, they switched from whatever it was to Fox, I think. I don't think it really dropped in viewers. You know, I don't think it really dropped in like its numbers or anything, as opposed to when Shroud or Ninja switched to a different, you know, we'll call it a channel or whatever, which is basically what it is. If that's how we're going to talk about this, where they both saw significant drops in viewers. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's interesting to think about. Maybe once the mold gets broken, like we've been talking about, maybe it'll be more like that. But it's so early. It's so early for all of this, and it could go honestly either way. Everyone, I am Veloc_TV, and this is StreamKey. We're back after the holiday break. We have everybody here: Sadomi, SuezQQ, and Dogg Gaming. So we'll introduce Dogg Gaming first. Who are you, my guy?
I'm Dogg Gaming. Yeah, I'm a streamer from Glasgow, in Scotland. Hence this fantastic accent. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Can you tell us about your stream at all?
At the moment, we're going through a bit of transition. I was kind of avoiding that right now.
I'm gonna pass right over that one.
Yeah, I was just like gloss over that. At the moment, we're kind of going through a transition. So at the moment I'm variety streaming. So that's it at the moment.
Okay. SuezQQ, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Susie. I sculpt things on Twitch, and that's about it. I'm actually
World of Warcraft yesterday.
I don't know if I'm gonna make that a regular thing or not. I am going to start getting back into streaming though, because I've been on a break during the holidays. Happy to be back.
Awesome. And then Mr. Sadomi, the co-host. What's up, my guy?
What's up, Veli? Man, y'all already know who it is. This is Sadomi. We're here. We're going to help you improve every aspect of your game, of your streamer game today. Because Veli is the best damn host this side of the East Coast. I had a whole bar there and you just cut me off.
Yep. You need better bars, bro. You got to prepare. I need better bars.
My bar.
I spent 10 minutes thinking of that one, actually.
Let's hear it, dude. Let's hear it, bro.
I told you. We got the host Veli, who's the best host on this side of the East Coast. Let's go.
It took you 10 minutes for that?
Yo, listen.
Time well spent, my dude.
Okay, good.
And then I am Veloc. I stream mostly Escape from Tarkov right now for like the past month. That's all I've been able to play. But we got some topics to talk about, and then we'll open up to questions. So if you guys want to call in and ask us some questions, join up in the Discord and hide and go and chill in the waiting room, and we'll pull you into on deck. I'll send you a friend request, and you'll accept that, and that's where I'll add you to the call. Or if you just want to type something in the chat, make sure to @ True Gaming and myself. That would be very, very appreciated. So first topic of the day is Twitch streamer Karina Kopf, butchering that name, leaves Twitch for Facebook gaming after Twitch ban. So she got banned for wearing like a tank top or something, I guess, and decided to switch to Facebook gaming, which is interesting. I kind of see that like something like this is probably going to continue to happen as more people get banned for dumb reasons. I think that people might start switching over. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything about that one?
Yeah, especially if Facebook. Sorry. Oh, go on, Dogg.
Well, I mean, I agree. Like, our ban was silly. You know, it was ridiculous, and I can understand why she switched, because you know she might feel that she's been targeted or singled out because her top was in no way worthy of a ban. You know. Okay. And as long as I agree with you, Veli, as long as these bans keep coming in that are questionable to say the least, people are going to take it to heart. This is their brand. They're being shut down from talking to the community, from doing what they love doing, you know, as well as earning how they earn, you know. So this is something it all comes down to the not the vagueness of the TOS, but the way the TOS is not always applied the same. and
Right.
people begin to feel that it's unfair, and I can see why people are switching. Interesting that she went to Facebook though.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, why not like Mixer or something like that, Facebook gaming, or maybe even YouTube gaming. But yeah, I totally agree. Sadomi, you were saying something?
Yeah, if the way I think about it is, if you get banned, it's like if you go to work and they send you home without pay for a week because you wore a shirt that had like words on it, but there wasn't specifically said you couldn't wear a shirt that had words on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're going to look other places, especially if you have the viability to or have the power to do that. Because
right, absolutely.
Because as a creator, and also if you're doing this as like your full-time like gig, it's you want security as much as possible, because this is a very volatile platform, a very volatile career path. It's you want to be stable, and if that stuff keeps happening, it doesn't just feel good.
Right, absolutely. Susie, you got anything about this?
Well, I know why she didn't go to Mixer, because she got banned for wearing a tank top, and you can't even wear tank tops on Mixer.
Oh, for real? I forgot about that, actually. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Still, Facebook gaming.
She shouldn't have got banned for the tank top she was wearing in the first place. They called it an undergarment, and she was literally wearing it was like a hardly spaghetti strap shirt.
Yeah, like I remember, like I was reading something that she was saying that people wear like a lot less and don't get banned for it. So it is interesting. I didn't actually see the top that she was wearing, but I trust all of your guys' judgment that it's not really ban worthy. It is pretty interesting that she got banned for this, for sure. I don't know.
She is well endowed, and that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
Women that are well endowed get hit harder with the rules than women that are not, and that's
absolutely
just how it is.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate that it comes to things like that. But hopefully she does well over Facebook gaming, and hopefully she, obviously doesn't receive the same treatment from the Twitch moderation staff. Next topic is Twitch streamer admits to stealing donations intended for charity. Who wants to start?
I'll start off because I'm gonna give a very interesting point of view, I think. Okay. Humans are very basic creatures. We respond well to things that give us good, and respond bad to things that don't feel good. So, as he said in his post interviews, he said that he knew it was wrong that he was doing it. Which, yeah, duh, it's horrible. That's absolutely despicable, disgusting. No excuse for that. But the psychology of this man, he didn't feel he got the punishment fast enough. So the brain was like, okay, I could do it again. Mm-hmm. And when you start doing that, you go into a vicious cycle. I've been in cycles similar to that. I'm never stolen from charity, of course, but we've all probably been in vicious cycles where it's like we're doing something we know we shouldn't be doing, but we keep doing it anyway just because we don't feel the repercussions soon enough. Mm-hmm. And so as he's doing that, it's just a really sad state of affairs for the way he was put in. And also, again, inexcusable. You shouldn't do that. You ruined his trust. He can never be a broadcaster ever again. He shot that foot in it's done. Even if he changes his name, the minute someone recognizes him in the French community, it's over. He needs to learn a whole new language if he wants to come back to this at all. But, and I definitely think the legal action is warranted, and I just feel bad for everyone in the situation.
Right. Anybody else?
I mean,
go ahead.
I mean, that's actually a really nuanced take, and I don't disagree with any of it at all. It's hard to say anything other than it's such a scummy thing to do, and it's something that perhaps it should throw some light onto how people are organising charity donation drives and such like that, and maybe get them to think more about only donating when it's directly to the charity, directly to the organisation itself, because otherwise you're very much prone to leaving yourself open to this, which is sad, but ultimately, it's something that people are going to have to be a lot more aware of, I think, and because it's dreadful that charity loses out on the cash. The people lose out on the help, and everybody that felt that they were doing something feels completely opposite now. Feels completely cheated, and it's as to heck what Sadomi said, everybody loses out. Absolutely everybody.
Right, Susie.
it's a crappy situation altogether because I don't think that his intention, the way it reads, all the stuff about it reads like he didn't ever have the intention to continue doing something like this, but he started it and he couldn't stop because he got so, like he says, that he was in so much debt. He was trying to pay off loans, and it just kept going because he just kept owing. And
wasn't part of the debt because of like streaming equipment, because he wanted like better equipment that like top streamers
it does
had.
say that later on, yes.
So it is like, it's pretty crappy that like he just wanted to like make his stream better, and he decided to like do a fake charity stream to pay for all of that. Like,
and did he give any of the money to the charity, or did he pocket everything?
I think he pocketed everything because like there was something saying that the charity didn't get any record of the donations or anything like that, and we don't know how much was actually stolen. But like, I mean, you have to imagine it's probably at least in the couple thousands. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
to do a couple charity streams is probably right around there.
Yeah, and from what it reads, it seems to be multiple times, not just the one time that it was done, you know, but actual multiple occasions.
Right. Do you guys know if this streamer got banned or not? I'm assuming, like, if he didn't already, he should be banned 100%. Like,
he took a well. I think in the article I'm reading it, he says he's on Mixer now. But like I said, it's good. I mean, good luck.
That person should not be able to make content for anybody like that. Like, that's just because how do you stream and not do that anymore after you've been doing it for so long?
Yeah, you've lost all trust there. The only now I want to kind of take this and kind of switch over to another direction. How can this be avoided in the future with other broadcasters?
Tiltify 100%. Yeah, definitely Tiltify. If you're a streamer and you want to make sure that you don't look like you're being shady about charity streams, use Tiltify to have your donations go through, because you will never see that money. You won't need to be held like liable for any of it, because it goes right to Tiltify's account and they send it right over to the charity. Very, very nice and very easy to set up for sure as a streamer. I know I've used it. I'm pretty sure all of us have used it. Maybe not Dogg. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I have. I don't think I have, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. It's just a really easy thing that you can use for charity streams. It gives like a donation like link, and you can put up a donation goal bar at the top of your stream. It's pretty cool. All right. So next topic we have is NFL football gained quite a bit of views on Twitch. The beginning of the season, they had about 300,000 viewers, a little bit more. And towards the end of the regular season, they had 1.2 million viewers. That's a huge improvement for sure. And I know that obviously the NFL wants to target as much of a wide audience as possible. So it'd be interesting to see, like, you know, UFC or other sports getting in on this, because obviously it's clearly working to an extent. What do you guys have to say about it, starting with Dogg Gaming?
Well, I had to actually read quite a bit into this because being in Scotland, my knowledge of American sports isn't great at all. But what the interesting thing that I picked up from it was that the median age was 44 to 50 years age for the NFL viewers, which that's sort of a very, and that was in 2000, you know. That's quite a sort of older bracket, so it really makes sense for them to try and find. I think one of the quotes was to go where the viewers already are. What's interesting to me though, and is that they have to do this. Over here, obviously, our football, as you all call it, soccer. We never really have to have this sort of get that engagement for younger viewers. It just seems to be something that happens, you know. I don't know whether that's down to the fact that football is kind of the main sport here, and you've got like American football, baseball, basketball, that kind of stuff that are all like large sports, you know what I mean? But it makes sense. I can understand it, and they've done it the correct way. They've done it through people like Tim the Tapman and stuff like that. That they've managed to tap into the right audiences in the right way. They've been very clever about it. I can see other sports doing it. I don't think UFC will be able to do it as easily. I'll be honest. It
is a bit more violent for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be harder to sell that to some platforms and advertisers and such, you know. But other sports, I don't see why they wouldn't or shouldn't, you know.
Right. It is pretty cool having the streamer kind of be able to talk to the chat and having chat be able to talk to each other and everything. You can see all the reactions. It makes it a lot more engaging for sure and very, very fun to watch.
Absolutely. I mean, I suppose that in that way, it's sort of makes it more closer to actually being at the experience. You know, there are people around there that you can share the experience with. A lot of people like to go to the bar or something to watch the sports if they're not making it to the stadium, so that they're there for that crowd reaction, that crowd feeling. I suppose that's maybe something that's it's tapping into with the whole Twitch thing as well.
Okay, all right. SuezQQ.
I am so glad that the sports are not staying on cable. I don't want cable, guys. Can we just not have to pay ridiculous amounts for watching cable? No, but I think it's really great. I am genuinely curious how much money ESPN's making off of the deal, like how that works with it being a Twitch stream, dedicated Twitch stream. I want to know.
I don't know if ESPN is making anything. Yeah. ESPN only has rights to Monday Night Football. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know Amazon has a deal for Thursday Night Football, which makes it so they can do the Thursday Night Football on Twitch as well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure ESPN only has rights to, pretty much just Monday Night Football, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I don't know. Yeah, right. Sadomi, anything on this one, my dude?
So expect in about 5 to 7 years, personalities like Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith will have some kind of event where they will stream with themselves watching a Thursday Night Football game. And when that happens, you'll see more of the larger shift towards more of those already TV personalities, like sports personalities, moving on to platforms to create content. Because I think that's a very large untapped market. Because if you look at Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, even, they have so many clips and memes of them out on the internet. And with the way Twitch works and the clips, it's earned media that just keeps getting packed on and packed on, because they're going to say something during those games. They're going to while out at something. They're going to say something ridiculous, and that's just going to just keep piling on. And that's just free publicity for whatever shows they do and their personal brands. So I think that the fact they're not doing it already is just a testament to how again, we're also technically early adopters. If you look in the grand scheme of things, we're all really early adopters of Twitch and live streaming space. But in the long run, I think we will see that happening. And when that comes, that's going to be exciting and also very bloated.
Yeah, it could definitely get crazy for sure. You're absolutely right. It could be just too many sports, too many casters for each sport.
It'll just be ads all over the place. It'll be like TV ads, how they force TV ads onto Twitch. The way that works, it does not work like that, because people can click too easily off, and they will.
Absolutely. Next topic we have is, so after Shroud moved to Mixer, only about 15% of his people from Twitch moved over to Mixer with him. We'll start with Sadomi, because I know you've done a little bit of Mixer streaming yourself.
Yeah. So the biggest part about this is the fact that we're talking about Mixer. It means that Mixer did exactly what they wanted to do. They just want us to talk about Mixer. They don't care about the actual viewership, because they're still in developmental phase right now.
I don't know about that.
Guess what? So
I'd rather have people move over than have people just talk about how somebody moved over. You know what I mean?
Well, not yet. So here's what I think. If Mixer is in the developmental stage, they're still like getting everything set up, figuring out the community, figure out what they want to do, they're waiting to pull the trigger to make the big, like, bang, come over to Mixer. Because right now, what do you think the main, like, market share of streaming is between YouTube, Facebook Gaming, Twitch, and Mixer?
It's 100% Twitch, for sure.
It's about 72% Twitch, about 13% YouTube, and somewhere in there, Facebook and Mixer are about the same, I think.
Right.
Mixer is like 3% of the market share. There's no one's talking about YouTube versus Twitch. It's always Twitch versus Mixer, which means Mixer is winning in that category, because Mixer wants people talking about them. Because the more people talk about them, the more times you see something, the more likely you are to go into a product or to see it. Like, for instance, how often do you guys know about this game called Raid Shadow Legends?
The one that they put on the ads for the YouTube videos? Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, they just want you to hear about it. So the more you hear about it, the more likely you are to convert when they introduce a feature that you like.
Okay. All right. SuezQQ.
I mean, if it's in your mouth, it's marketing.
True.
Exactly what Sadomi said.
That is true.
Yep.
Even controversy is marketing, especially in the current society. But
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised that he lost. Oh, I wouldn't say he lost audience, because he didn't lose audience. He moved away from his audience. And Mixer has smaller viewership than Twitch does. It's not surprising that he dropped numbers. I don't think that his dedicated audience dropped as much as the articles lead us on to believe, because people that want to watch Shroud are going to go watch Shroud. They are, and it's because people don't watch Shroud just because of his personality. He has incredible plays, and Mixer's a great place for him. I think he made a good choice, even if it doesn't look good right now.
Right. I'm definitely not saying he made a bad choice for sure. Just because he doesn't have the views. I mean, he's still obviously making money from the deal for sure. You know, Dogg Gaming, looks like you're about to say something here.
Yeah, I mean, to expand maybe on what Susie's saying, in a lot of ways, he's found his real core audience now. You know, anybody that watches him now is watching Shroud for Shroud. You know, like on Twitch, there are certainly, especially amongst the bigger streamers, there are people that go in those streams and they're not even interested in the streamer or the content. They're there for the chat, you know, and they're 100% there for the chat and only the chat. And so, in a lot of ways, Shroud's found the people that are purely there for Shroud. It's a lot less, absolutely, but you know, I'm sure he's not really that bothered. The money, you know, the rumored money, more than makes up for that. And in a couple of years' time, if he really wants to, if he feels like it, he'll come back to Twitch. Do you know what I mean? That's how it will be. But you know, for him, he probably has a lot healthier chat now.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, and I understand what you guys are saying about, like, you know, just the people talking about it is still marketing and still beneficial for sure. I just think that they would like to see more users gained out of these big purchases on these streamers and their communities. Like, they're trying, like, as much as they're trying to get the personalities to stream on their channels or on their platforms, they're also trying to buy the user base as well. And obviously, it's not converting so well in that aspect. It will be interesting to see how things pan out in the future for sure. I don't think just buying streamers is going to be like the thing that makes or breaks Mixer. They're gonna have to start figuring some things out to grow their user base naturally, which is going to be very, very important. But yeah,
I think they're going to have to find some way of getting affiliates, a way of earning in the same way that Twitch does. Until Mixer can't compete in the same way with Twitch, until affiliates are able to have subs in the same way that they can on Twitch. Do you know what I mean?
They're actually going to be making it so everybody makes money. Everybody has a subscription button, so you don't even need to hit affiliate or anything. It's just day one whenever you can.
Well, that's fair. And when they do, when they do, then we'll really see how Mixer and Twitch will line up against each other. Right. Because there's a lot of people there'll be a lot of people sitting thinking, you know, I'd make the move to Mixer, but I make this money here and this helps me with that, and I do this, you know, and that'll be enough for them to stay on Twitch. So that'll be interesting when they bring that sub button.
So what do you guys think then? Basically, so once Mixer does allow everybody to start making money, even though it does have a lower cap on the amount of viewers that they have in each category, do you think people will still want to switch from Twitch to Mixer who aren't seeing any success on Twitch, who, you know, want to grow? Because like they might be able to grow really fast, like they might be able to get like to a couple more viewers faster, but they're going to hit that ceiling eventually. You know what I mean? And even though they might be making money, if like they might have the ability to make money, the amount of money that you can make on Mixer is obviously going to be less than Twitch if you don't have a contract to move to Mixer.
So actually what I believe is if you can pull a large viewing, like we'll say 8K plus, you will be able to make a killing on Mixer just through ads. And the reason why I say this is because look at Mixer's code of conduct. They're very strict. And what do companies like? very strict brand safe content to put onto the streams. So naturally, Mixer's going to charge more for that. So right now, Twitch's CPM, if you guys know, it's CPM, cost per milli, cost per 1,000 impressions. I'm not sure I can say it or not, but you guys can find it. I'm not sure I can say it, but anyway, it's a certain amount. Mixers, I think, can probably even double or triple that, because right now on Twitch, literally because of the entire, like all the Alinity stuff, all the current hating of women in general on the platform, and just the ability of an affiliate to go into a directory and stream porn top of the directory, it's CPM rates are going to go down because advertisers don't want to risk like having their ad shown on like bestiality porn. They do not want that. So on Mixer, they have more safeguards for that. So therefore, they have better opportunities for advertisers to be like, hey, okay, we'll pay this because we know we're not going to have our Coke ad on someone doing literal cocaine off of a stripper's like butt. So we'll pay more for that. And yeah,
right.
I know it's a pretty colorful example, but it's,
that was all right. But I get that you might be able to make more money off of ads, but as for someone who wants to just grow an audience, there's been a lot of people that just can't seem to find their rhythm on Twitch, and so they try to go to Mixer to do that. But when you see somebody like Shroud and Ninja who have relatively the same percentage of people coming over from Twitch to their Mixer channel, how do you think that's going to make people feel like that don't really have that following, like where 15% might be a viewer or two at the most? You know what I mean? Like how do you, as a smaller streamer, how do you want to go to Mixer when you see that number, even for a very large streamer who has a very dedicated community already? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand. I know what you're saying here, but once the sub button on Mixer comes in, there will be a migration. There will be a swelling in those numbers, and at that point, that's perhaps the time to make where you've got that swelling and you can begin to build. Where other people are going and perhaps bringing some of their audience with them because they're a streamer as well. When you get that migration happening, if everybody's taking 15% of their audience, the more people that do it, it's still 15% of those audiences are going and becoming Mixer viewers as well. Do you know what I mean? Right. So if Mixer can make it more appealing to smaller streamers to go, then they will take a small part, but constantly small nibbles of the Twitch viewership. That's to me how they'll sort of build over time. And how people, smaller streamers, could see an opportunity to build their brand and become a bigger streamer.
All right, that makes sense to me for sure. I mean, yeah, it's just an interesting thing, and I really do want Mixer to do well. I really hope that people do start switching over, and I hope the user base starts to grow as well. Because when Twitch takes over over 70% of the market for streaming, they can do whatever they want, essentially. You know what I mean? So it'd be nice to have a little more competition going. Maybe some people at Twitch, sweat a little bit, want to start stepping their game up.
So going on to this again, because I love this topic.
Yeah.
One thing that I think Mixer will outshine Twitch in when they decide to actually pull the trigger is having I think discovery again on Twitch is garbage. No one can disagree with me on that. Twitch doesn't have any search system to find something. Like if you want, for instance, if I'm going to find Dogg Gaming, I have to know his name, or else I'm never going to find anything he does, which is horrible. Yeah. Which is why I think, again, I say this again because I really believe I think YouTube is going to be the best streaming platform in the future when they decide to pull the trigger themselves. Because it's for instance, if I'm trying to find a stream, I really can't find a stream other besides knowing someone's name. That's the only way I can find a stream. There is a recommended area, but that I'm not sure what that bases off of. Because I look there, I see people who are playing games that I've watched, and I see people who are doing things that I've never really watched myself. Like I have League of Legends streams in my recommended, and I don't play League.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know how Twitch is going to do that, or if they're going to do that. I know they didn't choose channel pages, but those need to come out 2 years ago.
Yeah, they need to start making some serious improvements on that.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything about, we can keep talking about Twitch discoverability if people have more.
I was actually just curious what you guys, what it would take you guys to move to Twitch or move to Mixer, over to Mixer. Like, what would it take for somebody that is successful on Twitch to swap platforms? Because I, as a creative streamer, Mixer is not appealing to me.
Right.
And there's not another platform that is appealing to me at the moment. So I'm just genuinely curious what it would take.
If they offered me a way to tag my content in a way that people would actually search for, because I do something very unique to the gaming sphere, and I'm 100% sure that the minute that comes alive, I will have a lot more traction than if, by the current system. Just because if you're looking for, I kind of brand my stream as a mixture of self-improvement and also, deep thinking. We don't play many games. We kind of just sit there and we talk, go at deeper topics. So I feel as though it would be something, if there's a way to search for my content that way. Because right now, what I'm doing is dead on Twitch. You can't really search for it except for just chatting or talk shows. And just chatting is not a directory people really go to for what I do a lot. Talk shows isn't as large of a directory as well. And I think if Mixer, I don't want to say get rid of directories, but if a platform restructured the directory system, because Twitch did it first doesn't mean it's the best system. I hate the directory system. So the minute they introduced a system that was different from directories, that allowed for more natural discovery, then I would probably make a switch again over to Mixer.
Okay. Dogg Gaming?
I don't know. I've never actually thought about this.
Right?
I've never really thought about it because, the idea of switching to Mixer, to me at the moment, it would feel just, if I were to make the switch just now, it would feel like starting all over again, So I've never really considered it. I've just been more focused on it. I don't know. I think I seen Mango say cash, probably cash.
It's a little bit of money. Throw me like $200. We're good.
I mean, how cheap do you think I am, Fairly? Come on.
That's US. That's US bucks, okay? And Susie, you said you wouldn't even really consider it right now. I mean, everybody knows that the creative category in Mixer probably isn't really anything.
And there's a lot of people that look at it and they're like, oh, I can start it, right? I can make it a thing. But Mixer audience is not what you want. And there's a clear difference between Mixer audience and Twitch audience. And you can't just force it. The thing with creative is, we probably need a platform of our own. I love Twitch, though. And even with controversy and everything, I enjoy Twitch because I can bridge that gap between gaming and creative. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody wants to do that. So I don't think that I'd switch unless it was something that was very specific to fulfill my needs as a creator, as a creative creator.
Creative creator. Okay. Creator creating creative creations. Yeah, I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know. Like, I guess it'd have to be like something like what Sadomi said. I'd have to find a way. Like, they would have to come up with a way for people to find me in my content, because you can't just look up fat funny dude on Twitch, who also plays Tarkov. Like, that's not a thing that you can search on Twitch. But if you did and there was a way, you'd probably find me. You'd be the top one. Yeah, the fattest and the funniest, But there'd have to be some sort of discoverability thing in there. Like, like they'd have to, I'm not expecting them to put someone like me or anybody else around my size or even just a little bit bigger on like the front page of Mixer or, on the Xbox homepage like they have for Ninja and Shroud, obviously. But there'd have to be something there that would make it so I'm more discoverable. And maybe still some sort of like financial compensation, because you're going to be taking a dip at first, for sure, when you switch over to a different platform, especially someone at my level, because like, let's say 15% of my people go to Mixer and but like the rest all stay on Twitch. I'm going to be making a huge dip in financial like outcome from it. So yeah, I'd have to say discoverability and a little bit of financial compensation for sure. That is, never actually thought about switching to Mixer and what it would take me to do though. So thanks for that question.
Yeah, same.
Last topic we have is this is pretty interesting. Okay, so Twitch streamer gets banned for nudity after saying she won't get banned for nudity. There's a streamer on Twitch who said she knew Jeff Bezos and said she had gotten nude on stream 4 other times. And she's like, no, I won't get banned. and then she got banned, obviously. So starting with Dogg Gaming, what do we got, man?
I mean, what do we got? Well, yeah. So I think she might have learned a lesson. She's moved to Mixer.
She has moved to Mixer. This is official.
Yeah, listening to the funniest thing about the clip is listening to the person say, and one of the people that's in stream with her say, "Don't do that. No, you don't want to do that." Very earnestly, very honestly, no, you shouldn't do that. No.
And then there's just that one guy, just like, please, like, just egging her on. And she's like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, let's go. That was the one guy. Oh. Sadomi?
Okay, let's turn this into a positive.
I'm interested right now.
Bye.
We're talking about her, so
marketing.
Boom. Yep. That's I hate saying it, but that's literally if people are talking about you. Because right now, no one's talking about Sadomi. I could do anything right now. No one's talking about me.
You're talking about you.
Well, there you go.
Right now.
Boom. But yeah, if we're people, like, we don't even know her, and we're talking about her. So that's putting, and people are now going to, because of watch this, they're going to look for the clip. Someone is. I know someone's going to look for the clip.
Everybody's googling her name.
Exactly. Thank you. I could have said it better. No, I couldn't have. That's why I didn't.
I don't think this is the marketing that you want, though.
I'm just about to say that.
Yeah, because say Mixer finds out about this and they're like, "Oh, she streams on our platform." Not anymore, like, and then it's just gonna keep going.
But it's not just that. You're putting the signal out to the wrong type of viewers.
Unless that's the viewers you want.
The right type of viewers.
There's other platforms for that.
There's plenty of other platforms.
There are literal platforms.
The Hub.
There are little platforms where you can stream, like on Twitch. Only do it nude, and
right.
So go over there if you
not here, somewhere else. Thank you. So yeah, that happened. That's all of our topics for today. If anybody has any questions, make sure to add myself and True Gaming. If you want to join up in the voice chat for a little call, you can go into Just Waiting in the Discord, and I'll send you a friend request and pull you in here. But anybody else got anything to talk about real quick? Anything you guys have seen on Twitch or Mixer or anything? No?
I
was going to say, Sadomi's got to have something.
I was going to say, perhaps next week you might be talking about Tarkov on the show next week. There's a bit of something brewing about stuff that devs said previously. So
the devs have said?
Yeah, in an interview about why they wouldn't put women characters in the game.
Wait, are there no women characters in the game?
There's no female characters in the game, no.
Really?
There's one NPC female character.
Yes, that's right, one of the vendors.
But there's no playable ones. And in an interview, I think about a year ago in an interview, they said that they feel that only hardened men are prepared for war, basically. So yeah.
Oh no, they didn't.
This could open up a different discussion that we don't necessarily need to have on here, but I will say that is stupid.
Yeah,
that's very dumb. Even if that is your closed-minded opinion.
Now wait a second. It's a Russian company. The Russians had female snipers.
Yeah,
that's not an excuse.
Right.
I've noticed a lot.
Know how badass we are.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of European game companies. There's a few of them because there's a game called Mordhau that does the same thing. They're like, yeah, no women and no black people. So, and I used to love playing Mordhau, but I was like, I mean, I okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. It's something with that.
it's interesting. It's really crappy that's their stance on it. Like only hardened men. Like that's as someone who served in the military, there's definitely females that were in my unit that were harder than me. That sounds weird.
I believe it.
But no, there's definitely females there that could kick my ass any day of the week for sure. And like I'll put that out there right now, and I don't even care. That's a very close-minded opinion. That sucks that it's that game because I love the game so much. I'm sad that the developers feel that way. I do know that their Twitch channel was banned over this last week because they were doing an interview or something, and basically one of the guys pretended to commit suicide on stream with like a plastic or toy gun pointed at his head and pretended to die basically. And so I know that their Twitch channel has been banned for sure because of that. Obviously that's a horrible joke to be made. So it sounds like they're making a lot of really bad decisions as far as PR goes. A lot of bad decisions. That's crazy. I didn't know about the thing you were just talking about, Dogg. That's news to me. That's crazy.
So is Tarkov is the team just a team of developers? I'm assuming it's just a team of developers.
It's a very small team of about 15 people.
Yeah, and they're all developers because none of them do any.
No. No. They don't even have anybody there to like work on their English translations or anything yet. Like they're new. You know what I mean?
Okay, they need to take some of that money they got and hire out
to invest in some PR for sure.
Like fast.
Just a company mom or something.
Well.
Yeah, just a company mom. Send Susie over there and be like, hey, listen, guys, you can't say these things or do these things on stream, so stop. And then they'll just have to listen.
I thought you need a PR woman.
They're gonna have to diversify for sure. They're definitely gonna diversify. Do it,
Call
Susie.
me.
Move to Russia. Call
Move
me.
to Russia. I'll be your PR.
Where are you
lady.
at, Battle State? You should be listening right now. Yeah, that's crazy. They're making some really bad decisions that's gonna really hurt them in the long run if they keep it up, for sure. That's terrible. So yeah, any other topics that you guys had to talk about before we start getting into questions, if anybody in the chat even has them yet? No? All right. So I guess one thing I could talk about is just people switching platforms in the first place, not really in accordance to, Shroud or Ninja or anything. Mm-hmm. But there has been a lot of people that have been questioning me on whether or not they should be moving to Mixer or anything. And I feel like most of it, not all of it, does come down to they just want to get more viewers at the end of the day. Like they can come up with whatever reason they want to, and they can do whatever and say whatever. But what it really seems to be like the reoccurring factor is I want to have more viewers than I currently do. What do you guys think about that when switching to a different platform?
So again, I love doing research on this. So much fun.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I think every content creator should do is syndicate content elsewhere first and foremost, and realize that if you're streaming on Twitch and you just want to be a streamer, you need people to find you. Like, again, I always go back to discoverability because that's the number one way to do it. You need people to find you. The way I kind of analogize this is if you're on Twitch, you're in a warehouse. You're a product on a shelf in a warehouse. If you're on YouTube or any other like searchable platform, you're a product in a grocery store. People can walk around, and if they stick out to you, they'll pick you up. But if you're in a warehouse, no one's going to go to you unless, they're searching exactly for you for that object.
Okay.
So you want to be in the supermarket, not in the warehouse.
Okay. Anybody else? No?
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about it, like, to play on what Veli's saying, I do think that a lot of people see that they're not getting traction on Twitch and think, okay, maybe moving to Mixer is going to change that for me. The first thing that I would say to people, is, are you putting your content out in the right ways? Are you promoting yourself in the right ways? Are you going out and becoming part of the Twitch community so that people know who you are? There's no guarantee. There is better discoverability on Mixer, absolutely. But there's no guarantee that better discoverability is going to work for you to make you get better viewers. There is better discoverability, but there's less viewers. So at the moment, it's a double-edged sword, if you will. So again, if you're thinking about moving to Mixer, before you make such a drastic move, because that's a big move, that's a big change to make. Think more about what content you're making, how you're making the content, and how you're promoting your own content and where you're promoting it, to make sure you're doing those things correctly. Because if you're not, then moving to Mixer's not going to really change anything, because you're still going to have the same core issues, but on a different platform. So that's what I would say to a lot of people.
Okay, Susie.
I think that if you like a platform enough over another platform, then you should be on that platform.
Yes.
If you're not watching stuff on the platform that you're on, then what are you doing, right? And I don't watch YouTube that much. I don't make YouTube videos. I plan on it, so I'm starting to watch more YouTube. It's one of those things, you can't rely on what other people think is best for you, when you can just sit and you can reflect and be like, hey, why do I like watching stuff here opposed to here? And how can my content be better in this environment that I enjoy watching things in, rather than saying, hey, this is a whole new environment, but maybe I don't like it as much. You have to self-reflect more than people have been lately.
Right. I guess that is a big question for people who are looking to stream on Mixer, is how much Mixer do you actually watch? And then you should start there. And then I think another good question is, like what Dogg Gaming was saying, is, are you putting your name out there the right ways? Do you have YouTube content like Susie was talking about? Because if you don't have the YouTube content to go along with your Twitch content, you're never going to get discovered no matter what platform you're on, because it's just so difficult to get discovered anywhere that you literally have to have YouTube as something to back you up, because that's the only thing that people can actually just stumble upon you, as opposed to just directly searching your name. Like Sadomi was saying, it's very important that you get your name out there in so many different ways. And like, don't just go to YouTube with like the same like videos that everybody else is doing, because it's going to get really hard to find you. Obviously, if you look up Rainbow Six montage, like I did that for a little bit. I had Rainbow Six montages or funny videos, and like some people watched them for sure, but it was definitely mostly my people that already knew about me anyway. So you have to put something out there on YouTube to get discovered, to then bring people over to your channel, just like Harris Heller is doing with his Alpha Gaming channel on YouTube. I'm assuming most of you guys know what that is. Harris Heller has a very awesome YouTube channel called Alpha Gaming, where he's basically a stream coach. He calls himself the stream doctor, I believe, and that carries over a lot of people to his stream audience, which is awesome. So I think that if you're not doing all those things to get people to your Twitch audience, you should probably start doing those before you start thinking about moving to a different platform, unless you just like that platform more, just like Susie was saying. Now, anybody else? Susie?
All right. So we're in a digital age where we can be talking about something and we'll get ads for that thing like the next day. And a lot of that is Amazon based. So why can't they use the same data that they're collecting on everybody else?
Right.
So
and apply it to Twitch discoverability.
That'd be interesting for sure. That'd be very cool.
So I was reading secondhand somewhere about that actually. Apparently there's companies that collect Twitch, like the bots, like electric skateboard, electrical longboard, all those bots of your channel. I'm not sure they still exist or not, but apparently those bots get better data than Twitch has. For instance, I know there's a company called Nerd Fusion. They do stats stuff. They sell them to companies, other streamers, and they host other streamers. For exactly what they do, but they also collect stats for Twitch. And one thing they do that I think is really cool is in chat they take an emote like lol, and they will see when the most amount of lulls were compacted in a stream chat, and they'll take that point and use that to clip a funny moment in stream, and then post that clip just from chat.
That's fantastic.
It is. And even with Nerd Fusion, Twitch buys like stats information from them too. So that should tell you already that Twitch doesn't collect stats as well as I think they should for their own source. But
that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? I mean, that third parties are able to actually do it better than Twitch on their own platform. That's really
Well, that's how it starts with everything, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the party's always better at first, and then
look at game mods that make games like Minecraft mods, the old 4K texture mods. Perfect example. That game looked horrible, but then the 4K mods came out, and then you have HD Minecraft, and that just blew my mind. But yeah, you would think Twitch would have a better system for that, but they don't, and it's sad, and it really shows. And I think that if people could get more better information about their users, they could use that in a bit of a stronger way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I have 5 questions that I think every creator should ask themselves, and I think the first question you should ask is, what do you do that's better than anyone else? I want y'all to answer this one.
Oh, hey, Dogg Gaming, I want you to answer. What do you do better than anybody else, Dogg Gaming? Not to put you on the spot, lol.
Yeah, well, just yeah. These are the 5 questions you ask yourself. Take time to do it, but Dogg, do it now.
I was thinking, like, next week we should have the same group of people and we'll just ask the same question. We'll give you a week to prepare. No, Sadomi's like, screw you guys. I'm gonna make you look bad in front of everybody.
Bang.
So, Dogg Gaming, what do you do better than anybody else on Twitch?
Think on my feet. There you go.
That is quite the answer. Okay. All right. SuezQQ, what do you do better than anybody else on Twitch?
I sculpt the best booties.
The best booties on Twitch. There you go.
Amen.
I don't know what I do best on Twitch. That is a very good answer or a very good question. Sorry. And it is something that everybody should be asking themselves for sure. And this is something I'm actually currently working on. I've written out a list of things for myself, and I can't believe you just did that out of nowhere to us like that, Sadomi. That's tough. That's tough, bro.
Nervous.
Yeah, right.
Listen, I love putting people on the spot, and I'd say for me to answer that question, my answer to that question myself,
because you prepared. Because we
this right dude in front of him.
Yeah, right.
cheat sheet and everything.
well, actually, it's funny because my answer to this question is that I don't have that answer. I don't know what I do better than anyone else on Twitch.
Rude.
But
so rude.
I think
hold on, chat. He is prepared, okay, and he doesn't have an answer, and he's gonna make us answer live when he hasn't even asked us this or told us that this question is coming up. Are you serious right now? The disrespect coming from Sadomi is abysmal. Okay.
Listen, that's also another part too. I make people think harder than they've ever thought before. That's what I do best on Twitch.
It is noon, and I've had my first cup of coffee. This dude. All right. What's your next question? You said you had 5. I want to hear him now.
Okay, then. Next question. I like this one the most. What need do you fill?
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Wait, what?
See a need, fill a need.
So what we're going to do, chat, is we're going to let Sadomi answer all these first, and then maybe we'll go back and ask Dogg Gaming and SuezQQ. Because Sadomi's got all these prepared already. And even if he does have them prepared, he's probably going to still give us a roundabout answer if he doesn't know yet, which is crazy to me because he's prepared. Anyways, you answer your own question here for us, homie.
All right. What need do I fill? So I feel the need of the person that sees all this self-help, all this improvement, and they see the end game. They see what people have accomplished already. And they're like, okay, but I'm in this position. I'm not going to do that. If you guys don't know, I share a lot all my life. I'm not in a very good position. So I like sharing that with the world and telling them, hey, listen, I'm in a crap position. So come with me on this journey and we'll get out of this hole together. Okay. And like, I want to have enough so that I have the skills so I can land a pretty good job. I want to have the social skills where I can be the best person I can be, develop a better moral code than I've had in the past, become healthier than I've ever been, and just become a better person. Because right now I'm not happy with the person I am. And so what I want to do is show people that even though you're at the end of the line like I am, if you're at the very bottom, you can rise up. And I want to show them by example. I want to be the daily show that you turn to every day and you see that improvement day by day by day. My life is going to be an anime, a 10 to 20 year anime. And when you see that final episode, it's going to be the best moment in the world. That's what I feel.
So you were going to ask us this question, and we're going to say, I don't know. And you were just going to give us that and just show us all up, dude? Are you kidding me? Here's a 20-minute answer on something that makes me sound really cool. Hope you guys had a terrible answer. This is disrespectful, and I feel hurt right now. Okay, these are all really good questions, though. I do want to hear what your next two are.
Okay, who would you like to collaborate with, and why, and on what?
Okay.
And so the reason why I asked this question is because if you can answer this question, it'll help you figure out the answers to the other questions. Like for instance, Veli, I know for a fact you'd probably love to play Tarkov with Tim the Tatman. Yeah, and so but I want you to ask yourself why you want to do that. Like, why would that be awesome to you? Is it because you see Tim as a role model, or because you see him as someone you would work well with, or because you really enjoy the way he delivers content and you want to kind of mimic that, or at least like take pieces of that to create your own? Yeah. And so for
me, or am I answering this one? Or no?
You don't have to. If you want to, I'd love to. I don't want to put you on the spot again.
So why would I like to stream with Tim the Tatman at least once? I think it'd be a very fun experience for me. I think I'd have a blast. I think like if we got to a point where we could be comfortable with back and forth, I think it'd be really funny content for sure. But yeah, just being able to stream with somebody like that would just be a crazy cool experience. Like even just joining the Tatman army, I thought was like an amazing thing that I had a chance to do. Not to really get anything out of it. It's just a cool thing to be somewhat affiliated with someone that I do see as a role model for sure. Like it's like I've said 100 times, he's the first streamer I ever actually enjoyed watching, first streamer I subscribed to, and the reason why I started streaming on Twitch in the first place. And so being able to stream with someone like that would just be absolutely crazy.
But she can fangirl.
I would fangirl so hard.
He'd be like, all right, Tim, give me like 10 minutes. Let me just get this out.
Yeah. I would just scream for 10 minutes, just the whole time. And then be like, all right, we're good, Tim. What's up, bro? You know, if I'd mute so he didn't hear that, Avi, because I got to play it cool.
So you haven't thought about this much then, Fairly?
No.
Detailed description of how it's going to play out, you know?
No, I don't fantasize about this at all. All right, Sadomi, what you got for us, man?
All right. So next question, or my answer to that question?
Yes.
Okay. So my answer to that question, honestly, I would love to shadow Gary V and just document the difference between how he does things and how I would like to do things, and kind of see in person and in live in real time how he goes through like his day and how he focuses down and makes so much content, how he does so much for all this. Because I think my biggest problem is I don't have a good work ethic. I don't have a good ability to focus. I don't have a good ability to delay instant gratification. So that's a hurdle I want to get over as not only a content creator, but also as a person, because it's something that's plagued my entire life and something I really want to get over. And I think he'd be a good example of how to see that, like physically see that, and then just if I can see it, I can believe it. I can truly go with it. And for my next question, I think everyone can do this one right now. So everyone, if you have notepad or a piece of paper, get it in your hands, close your eyes, okay? I want you to write down, I'm gonna ask you, who is your ideal viewer, okay? Write down what they like, how old they are, what gender they are, what they are into, what they say, what they wouldn't say, and just write. Just keep going, keep typing, keep writing, and just keep going, and just let your brain just fill. Don't think about it. Just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. And then after about a minute or so of writing, stop, look at it, and read it, and then read it to yourself if you're not comfortable reading out loud, and see what fits in there.
That's actually something I've never thought about. Like I've thought a little bit about the ideal viewer for sure. Like you have to think about what your audience or what you want your audience to be. But I've actually never like written it down like that. We're doing good things here, chat. All right.
I've got pervy nerds.
How long was Susie? Can someone go back in the bottom? How long was Susie writing that down for? I gotta know. I gotta know how long Susie was just writing this down for, because she's got 2 words over here. Okay, this is blowing my, because Susie, the whole time Sadomi's talking, she's like, just in it, dude. Like, that's
a whole paragraph. I like it.
Yeah. How many P's are in the first word? 14.
1.
There we go. Stop. Pervy nerds. Okay, so that's what Susie wants as her ideal viewer, is a pervy nerd.
Pervy
What?
nerds.
Appropriate. Okay, so she added a whole word in there. It took her like 5 minutes to write pervy nerd, 20 seconds to write appropriate. Tell me how it works, chat. Okay. The Dogg Gaming, have you put any thought into this before?
Oh, no, I haven't actually. It's a really good question. I'm actually going away with these now. I'm going to be sitting going through these.
It's like, I didn't want to think
in
today,
my own
but now I
time
have
when
to.
I'm not on the spot, Sadomi, you know.
I love making people uncomfortable. It's like it was my superpower.
Okay, so I guess my ideal viewer would just be. It's interesting. Like I don't really. I guess just anybody who's willing to just watch. SuezQQ is my ideal viewer. My ideal viewer is somebody who would want an appropriate pervy nerd as their ideal viewer. That makes sense. But no, it'd just be anybody who's willing to watch gameplay and just has a decent sense of humor that won't obviously take it too far, but just wants to joke around and have fun. Like that's really all that I can ask for, is just to have fun in chat. That's awesome. If chat's having fun, I know I can have fun, or I can focus on the game and then go back to chat later if chat's already, having conversations with themselves. It's very nice.
Neglecting us.
Yeah, So Dogg Gaming, have you thought about this at all? Do you have yourself an ideal viewer yet, or no?
I'm liking this rich silent billionaire idea. That's
rich silent billionaire. We need Mr. Beast, but more quiet, please. Thank you.
But more quiet, yes. Just less of the talking. I'm playing here. Okay.
Oh my god, that's funny. All right, so Mr. Beast, if you have any really quiet friends who are as loaded as you are, go to Dogg_Gaming. DOGG. That's awesome. That's great. Sadomi, what's your next question, my guy?
All right. The last question in this set of 5 is, what are you the most comfortable doing? Be it writing, speaking, being on camera, editing, creating fun situations, talking, arguing, dancing, whatever it is. What are you the most comfortable doing?
I want you to answer this first, Sadomi.
Okay.
Obviously, because you're prepared.
I am the most comfortable when I'm allowed to speak with other people and see how their mind works and try and break into it and try to let them. I like to rewire people's brains while I talk to them. As manipulative as that sounds.
That's screwed up.
Wow.
Yeah. I like
had an agenda when you showed up today. Okay. All right.
I like to change the way people think about things because perspective is a really important thing. Like, good example, I will never live the life that Susie lives. I will never live the life that Dogg lives. I'll never live the life that you live. Y'all will never live the life that I will. So I already know what my life's like. I would know what y'all think, what your lives are like, because there's no way I can learn as much as I want to know, because I want to be the most well-educated man in existence with whatever cost that comes to me, because I feel like knowledge is the most powerful thing we can have as a society. And the more we understand each other, the better decisions we can make over time. And generally, like I say, as always, knowledge is power and power is freedom. And I want these shackles lifted from me, man. That's all I want.
Okay. All right. We got Sadomi trying to bring some hot quotes. All right. So the thing that I'm most comfortable doing, either shit talking or probably just shit talking. I'm really, really good at it. No, I'm good at just, trying to, make light of any situation. I'm just trying to troll anybody or try to I like to be funny. I guess that's my most comfortable thing. SuezQQ will stop. She just muted. Never mind. Dogg Gaming, what's up, homie? Susie's like, I'm not talking about this one right now.
I mean, slightly similar to Sadomi without the manipulating thing.
Sounds pretty bad.
Like Sadomi more humane.
I feel very comfortable talking to people, which is considering my history of anxiety and stuff is kind of strange. But once I get talking to people, I feel very comfortable, able to talk to anyone. So I suppose that's probably my what do you call it? My most comfortable thing.
Okay, Susie recently unmuted. What's up?
Attracting pervy nerds.
Okay.
I like talking to people. I could sit there and do it all day. Honestly, if somebody would sit there in my chat and talk to me, I wouldn't even need to be doing anything else. So
that's fair.
I guess it's just talking and sculpting sometimes.
Okay. See, like talking for me is like it's still difficult for me at this point. You know what I mean? Like, because I was a very introverted person for a long time, so this like expressive, outgoing version of myself is still pretty new and it's still really uncomfortable to me sometimes. Aside from like when I'm on camera, you know, like when I'm on camera, like I'm just like there's nobody really staring at me, so like I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? But like in front of people,
all staring at you.
Well, yeah, but it's like I can't see you laughing at how stupid and fat I look right now, so I'm good. You know. But yeah, I totally get that. Talking to people is definitely something that's been more comfortable over time for sure. So Domi, what's your next question, my dude?
So that was actually hold on.
That should have been
1,
4,
2,
right?
3, 4, 5, 6. No, that was 5. Those are my 5.
Said 6. So what's that 6 one?
Wait, I said 6? Okay, hold on.
You just said 6.
I did skip over 1 because I think it was kind of like a double question. I asked, what do you do that? Okay, what do you do? Sorry, what do you bring to the table that no one else brings to the table? That was kind of like the what do you do better than anyone else? So I kind of skipped over that one.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it is like the other one. That makes sense. Okay,
but
looks like we have a caller, by the way.
Perfect. I like it.
Got who is it? Free for all Tom. Okay, so once Mr. Vince gets the scene switched, I'll get him added.
Boom, boom, boom. So you don't have any plans for event streams in the near future?
Nope.
Sorry, I'm
probably should figure something out like that.
I actually did have a whole lot of plans that have just been thrown into chaos, but so I'm currently just trying to re-find out what my channel's doing now, you know. So
free for all, Tom.
Oh, he just DC'd.
Oh, he gone.
You done borked it.
Hope he's all. Oh, there he is. All right.
How's
what's
it
up,
going?
Mr. Tom? How you doing today?
Tom, what's up, man? I miss you.
Pretty good. I'm trying to see if I can get my webcam where I don't really have a webcam. I got a phone cam, but once.
Okay.
Oh, what's happening? Can you see me?
What's going on?
Okay. Hello, Susie. So, you guys were talking about the mixer thing. Is my volume good?
Yeah, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You guys were talking about that mixer, and I remember I brought this up to you, Val, during one of your streams last week. So, I put more thought into it, and I look at it like this. So in professional wrestling, there's tiers. There's, upper card, and there's UFC too, mid card, lower card. And I look at like the top talent, we'll say Ninja and Shroud. They're like upper card, and then you got like lower level, probably like me. I'm like a dark match, to be completely honest. So I think that transitioning from mixer for me isn't really that big. It wouldn't be as hard for me to get an audience because I don't have an audience. So my audience would be pretty much my Twitter reach, which is like 800 followers. I could probably get some of them over, and then so I'm already reaching to begin with. And I look at somebody like upper talent, like Ninja, who did see a decrease, but of course he's contracted, so he's probably, I guarantee, guys like him made sure they weren't losing money going over. Their Microsoft guarantee cut them a contract, so they don't have to worry as much. But what I'm interested to see is, much like what Dogg said earlier, is people switching over from those other platforms, bringing those bits and pieces of, like, it's like a cookie jar, and everybody's taking cookies. Eventually, it's going to be a factory full of cookies. And I'm wondering if Mixer, and this is what Sadomi said earlier, if Mixer keeps putting their name out there and they're attracting these small communities, are they going to eventually grow to the point where it's not really dead even, but back to the wrestling analogy, will they be AEW to the WWE? Because right now they're like a TNA or Ring of Honor. They're not really there, but people are talking about them more, which I find interesting. You got 3% market share, but your name is up there, which is crazy to think about. But I'm interested to hear you guys' thoughts on that.
Okay, we'll start with Sadomi on this one.
Okay, yeah, I'm so glad I followed wrestling. I know everything, everything you said about that. So, yeah, I think also thing to take a note too is with AEW and WWE, you have a lot of people who watch both, a lot of people who follow both. So with platforms, I think that also is the case, but I think with content creation is a little different because with AEW and WWE, you have different products in and of themselves versus Mixer and Twitch are just the storefronts. What's in them is the individual streamers, and streamers generally kind of stay on one platform to another. So I love the analogy, but I feel like it's a little not as one-to-one even. But that's fine because it does bring up another good point that I love to bring up. AEW has not equal market share. It doesn't have equal market share to WWE, not at all. But it has equal viewing share. So AEW is pretty much like the Mixer right now with the power of YouTube. If you guys don't know, AEW is All Elite Wrestling. It's the newer promotion that came in about a year ago.
Turner Broadcasting owns it. So they got backing like Mixer has Microsoft. Microsoft is probably a little more powerful, but yeah. The reason why I compared the two is because every audience has a segment, like a core audience, and Mixer and Twitch are really similar. But the thing about Mixer is, and this is my opinion, the community is like Twitch has a good community too, don't get me wrong. But from what I've seen looking at streams, the Mixer community is more supportive of the streamer in general. Now, of course, you got Twitch streamers that do get that support, like Val, you do, and the smaller Twitch streamers get it. But I notice on Twitch, the bigger you get, the more toxicity starts to enter your stream, and it's harder to manage. Now, YouTube, and we'll look at the YouTube stream of it, unless you've got some crazy drama content going, it's very hard to get views and long-term views. And then Facebook, unless it's political or it's news or it's creation, it's very hard to get noticed too. And like everything has their own segments. So I get what you're saying where the AEW and WWE are two, they're very similar. And they are similar. That's why I kind of compared Mixer to Twitch because they are similar, but they have different segments. Like the demographic for Mixer is much lower, where the demographic for Twitch is rising and the age is actually increasing. Where AEW's demographic is much older, like we'll say 20s to 30s, and WWE's demographic is probably a little younger than that. You got like little kids. AEW isn't trying to reach them, much like Twitch, from what I've noticed, isn't trying to reach kids anymore. Mixer's trying to kind of scoop up those kids and hope that older audiences start to come with like Ninja. And Ninja is a perfect example of the younger audience, but then Shroud is a perfect example of trying to get into that older demographic too.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense. Susie?
Oh, man.
You got anything to say about this? Putting you on the spot. Let's go.
Mostly I didn't understand the wrestling references, but that's okay.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Dogg Gaming, what do you got, man?
I mean, yeah, it's very interesting. But again, I'm not up on my wrestling knowledge, so I don't understand a lot of the references. But you're making very good points about market shares. Ultimately, what we need to wait. There needs to be another big change. There's something else needs to change for there to be a reason to go to Mixer. Right now. Shroud only takes 15%. Why is that? Because there's not enough of a reason to go to Mixer. Shroud for all the people that didn't go, Shroud wasn't enough of a reason to go. But again, to even touch on slightly what Sadomi is saying, what I'd be really interested to see is what the Venn diagram for people that watch Twitch and watch Mixer is like. What's the crossover? You know, like Sadomi was saying those two wrestling organizations have the same level of viewership because the people are interested in that. You know, what I would like to really be interested in is how many people that are Twitch viewers even consider watching Mixer, you know, and how many are like, oh, I watch both. I also watch YouTube. I watch, you know, what's that core that doesn't care what the platform is, you know, in comparison to the people that are like, nah, I ain't going. This is my platform, you know, because I think that's something that also needs to be broken. Is there's a brand identity that Twitch has, you know, and it's tied into generations of people growing up with it, becoming part of their common lexicon, part, you know. Words like poggles and such like that making their way into their common usage in life, you know. So, you know, Mixer has to also deal with that idea that Twitch it created a huge scene, and now it owns that scene in a lot of ways for people, you know, where they have brand loyalty. So that'd be interesting to see what the crossover's like.
Yeah, I mean, I almost wish we could just put out like a survey just to like ask like just a buttload of people just to see who does watch both platforms, because it is important. It, like you were saying, we need to break out of the mold of thinking we should just watch Twitch or we should just watch Mixer. But at the end of the day, you should just be supporting the content of a specific creator as opposed to the platform, which has no real like reason for any content being a certain way. You know what I mean? It just happens to be that content creator is on that specific platform. So I do agree that you should just support content instead of the platform. I think that's a very important thing that we do need to break out of, just like you were saying. Hopefully the mold breaks soon, and hopefully more people start going to Mixer, users at least, because they can get all the streamers that they want, but they really just need to get a user base of people who are just wanting to watch. Some people that just want to consume content. That's what they need to be focusing on right now. And if they can pull it off, that'd be great. I just think that's where they're going to have their biggest issue.
It depends on how quickly we turn into network television.
Yeah.
5 years.
We go, platforms are different networks and different shows are on different networks. It's not any different. So it just depends on what route society takes.
It is a little bit different in the sense that, like, you know, when Friends switched networks back in the day, you know, they switched from whatever it was to Fox, I think. I don't think it really dropped in viewers. You know, I don't think it really dropped in like its numbers or anything, as opposed to when Shroud or Ninja switched to a different, you know, we'll call it a channel or whatever, which is basically what it is. If that's how we're going to talk about this, where they both saw significant drops in viewers. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's interesting to think about. Maybe once the mold gets broken, like we've been talking about, maybe it'll be more like that. But it's so early. It's so early for all of this, and it could go honestly either way.
Yeah. I wonder when Howard Stern switched from terrestrial radio to Sirius XM in like 2005, 2006. I'm wondering what the drop off was for him, because that's much like what Ninja and these other content creators did, switching from platforms, because he started a trend of other people that were getting banned on terrestrial radio to then jump over to another platform. I'll have to do research on that, because that's like kind of like the situation we're in now, where everybody was like, oh, there's these two competing, there's XM, then there's Sirius, and eventually those two became one. But I mean, it's happened before in the past, and Howard Stern went over, and he probably did had a drop in an audience, but then he kind of built that platform up until podcasting became a thing. And then that platform completely collapsed in on itself. But for a while, SiriusXM merged because the reason for that was there. And the reason, and I think, and I might be wrong, I could do more research on this, but I think what ended up happening was the company that Howard Stern went into bought, kind of engulfed the company that they were competing with. So, I mean, we could be saying in 5 years that Twitch just buys Mixer from Microsoft. I mean, who knows? Which would be interesting.
That's very true. That is very true. Although I have to say, Microsoft have got a lot of money anyway, so it's not really, they wouldn't really need to sell it for money reasons. I mean, it is possible, but if you think it through, Microsoft, the whole idea of Mixer is to try and sort of go and co-line with the whole Xbox thing as well. Their whole Xbox gaming and everything that's tied into it. So,
do you think they're using that? They're using Mixer to more as a promotional tool for their own interest, where Twitch is using streaming for different reasons?
So,
I mean, Twitch is owned by Amazon, and in the grand scheme of things, Twitch is a tiny fraction of what Amazon's entire turnover. And it's the same for Mixer in regards to Microsoft. But at the same time, that it's different reasons that they have these. They don't have Mixer or Twitch to make money from, really. They have it for different reasons. They have it to be able to push products in different way. They have it, to gather information. They have all these. They have all that in mind first and foremost. So, whilst it's possible that it could happen, I don't know. I don't know if it would. I'll be honest. I don't know if it would.
I'm gonna leave you guys there. I gotta get back to work. But thank you guys for taking my call.
Yeah,
no problem, man.
Really
Some great
appreciate
points.
it, man.
Thank you,
I'll
man.
see you guys later. I'll be on all your streams, and I'll follow you, Dogg. Don't worry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, man.
bye.
God, it is so cool to have people call in. I'm not gonna lie. That's just awesome. I love when people call in and ask questions. It feels like a real show,
So I have one quick thing to add onto that because my brain just thought of it. Pretty much dedicated viewing versus passive viewing. So I'll analyze it and analogize it like this. How often do you go to the store and buy candy because you want candy versus how many times you eat candy because it's on the table and you picked up a piece? That's kind of how the switching over to a platform is going to be. So if you're on Twitch already and you didn't really dedicate yourself to watching Shroud, you're not going to follow him to Mixer because he's not part of your normal daily routine. Mm-hmm. But if you're, you love Shroud, you're going to go to Mixer to watch him because you don't care. You want to watch Shroud. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Pretty much like with wrestling. If your favorite wrestler is on the worst promotion ever, you're still going to watch their matches. That's just how that works. So taking note of your dedicated versus passive viewers is important, and respect them both, because there's nothing wrong with being a passive viewer or something versus a dedicated viewer or something.
Absolutely. You gotta have everything. It's just the same as like you can't have everybody just talking in chat because there has to be lurkers. Like most of Twitch is lurkers anyway, so you can't just force people to talk, because obviously the lurkers aren't going to want to and they'll leave. It looks like we have another caller, Necro Minion, who I think somebody here knows pretty well. So we're going to add him real quick once Vince gets the scene switched over.
Listen, you want to watch how many Scotsmen you have in this call, mate? It might get imbalanced.
What?
I don't think he's accepted my friend request, so he doesn't want to be my friend.
Sadomi, I know Necrominion. He's a very good friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. My brain is like zoned out for some reason.
Has he not accepted the friend request?
He's not accepting. He's like, he even messaged me in the chat and was like, hey, I got a question. I told him what, looks like he's typing now. Let me send him another friend request then.
Boom.
Richie Munster calling me Fat Shroud in the chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That's gonna be my new Twitch name.
Fat Shroud.
Dude.
See if it's taken.
I should see if it's taken. Someone's already going to be grabbing it and asking for $100 for me to pay him if I want it.
That's my biggest fear. Oh my god.
Is someone hijacking an account that you want?
Yeah, like someone takes Sadomi and it's like, and they keep it. Because once you keep an account, it's like Twitter, keep it for decades. And I'm like, I hate all of you. I think.
All right, it looks like he is accepted. So once Vince gets the scene switched over, we'll be good. Just waiting on Mr. Vince. There we go. Adding Necro right now. There he is. Mr. Necro.
All right, gentlemen and ladies. Can you hear me all right?
Hey.
Yeah, we can hear you good. What's up, man?
Oh, it's just a quick question for you. It was kind of going on what you were talking about earlier with people getting banned, obviously, for what they're wearing on stream. Now, down the line, with regards to the NFL and stuff, if sporting things like the UFC did start broadcasting on Twitch, now obviously UFC fighters fighting nothing but hot pants, and the women in hot pants and a tank top. So is it not going to be a bit kind of contradictory to have maybe somebody that's been a streamer for years getting banned because they've wore something inappropriate, but to have a brand new athlete come onto the platform and just get away with it because it's a sport? How do you think Twitch will deal with that? Or do you think maybe they have to start looking at bringing in laws that cover streaming in general, since there's going to be so many different platforms starting to stream? How does that get worked around these?
So what I 100% is going to happen is Twitch is going to make a contract with UFC, and they're going to ignore it.
Yeah,
just going to completely ignore it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As it currently stands, they have a workaround, because I'm sure the TOS says something along the lines of situation or appropriate clothing, So that's why, wearing a tiny skimpy bikini at home on stream is a no-no, but wearing a bikini at the beach is okay because it's appropriate clothing. That seems to be the TOS, the way the TOS is applied as it currently stands. And Sadomi, I see your face. I'm not claiming that I agree with any of this.
No, because my brain just thought, like, I walk around home naked. Like, and there are a lot of people do. And like, I've never met a woman that didn't walk through the door and whip that bra off like instantly.
So, but
Like,
this is the way Twitch applies its rules. This is the loopholes or workarounds or whatever it is that you want to call it.
Context.
Context, yeah. So I think as it stands, they could probably get away with it just by saying it's appropriate for what they're doing, and so there's nothing wrong with it.
Unless you're well endowed.
Unless you're well endowed.
Then it's always inappropriate.
And then it's always inappropriate.
I mean, even avoiding the necessary legalities of the situation, would that not drive some streamers away as well if they feel like they're being chastised for something that professional, well-earning athletes are getting away with?
Absolutely.
That might be an incentive.
Right. Let's say the UFC actually does work out a deal with Twitch where, because obviously female fighters do wear the shorts and the tank tops. It might drive some people away who are irritated that the fact that they can't wear like the same tank top on their stream. But UFC deal is going to have a lot more money and a lot more financial impact on Twitch than a couple streamers leaving at the end of the day. Like, yeah, it sucks that they would lose a couple content creators who are probably pretty good content creators. You know what I mean? I don't want to say that, like, we don't need them anyway. But having UFC or any organization work out a deal with Twitch is a huge financial gain for the platform. And I don't think that they would want to turn that down just because a couple streamers are going to leave.
All right.
You got any other questions for us, Necro?
No, that was pretty much. I was just curious about that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm a fighter myself, so that kind of thing seemed appropriate. And obviously, I was just curious how you think that would work down the line. So obviously, with multiple platforms, how big does streaming have to get, and how many platforms before they're going to have to start making laws that sort of cover all platforms rather than just individual for Twitch, individual for Mixer? Right. Are they going to have to start doing that when it becomes big enough? Because you can't have. It'll be a bit messy if everybody's jumping about platforms just simply because here's a rule that I like to bend, but Twitch is against it, so I'll move to Mixer. But then they change their terms of service, so that you jump to another one. It could get messy if every company's got different. It's all right now when there's only one or two sort of major streaming venues, but if there becomes like 10, 20, it could get a bit messy. It just seems down the line if that's not sort of regulated or controlled in some way.
Right. I don't know if there will ever be a time where you need like 10 or 20 streaming platforms as far as like Twitch or Mixer goes. Just because like it's not like there's a limit of how many content creators can fit on one platform or anything. It's not like people who watch Twitch or Mixer watch so many already just on this one dedicated platform that they would want to switch to a different platform to watch somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think having like 5 at the most, I think it will probably be like, I think in the future there will definitely be more options for sure, but I think the top like platforms it'll just be like the top 3 to top 5. I think that really people kind of mess with. I don't think it's going to go any higher than that, just because like it starts to get too much after that. You know what I mean? There's already so many options on each platform that you really don't need that many different options for a platform in the first place.
All right, fair enough. I appreciate that. If nobody else is getting to add to that, I'll get my ass off here.
No, you're good. You're good. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in and asking a question. Really appreciate you.
No worries, man. Take it easy. Take it easy,
bro. All right. Good question. Yeah, I mean, it is like I really hope that something like that does happen in the future, where UFC works out a deal or something. Obviously, like Dogg Gaming was saying, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because of the violence of the sport. But it'd just be really awesome to be able to watch more sporting events with a live Twitch chat. It's a really cool experience. For those of you that don't really like football, I would recommend just giving it a shot and just seeing how it goes for you. We got about 30 minutes left. Anybody else got anything about any Twitch news or Mixer news? Anything?
So going more into the streaming of sports thing, I think esports a lot of them should allow secondary streaming as well.
Mm-hmm.
With like certain, so I think definitely what you want to do is not allow it to everyone.
Right.
But I think definitely contract people out and be like, hey, listen, you have to show the whole broadcast, and during ads, like NFL does that we have, you just turn your camera off and mute, and that's fine. Because you got to please the advertisers. So I think with esports do that should be good, because there's some commentators who don't make certain events, but they are still in good standing with the company. They just weren't like selected for that one and can do their own commentary overwards. And some people will prefer that too, especially more casual context.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, certainly taking, for example, Rainbow Six Siege, there's a vast disconnect between the average player and the pro scene, and being able to have those recasts like that would be very beneficial to introducing a whole lot of new audience to the esport itself, who've not really paying attention to it at all. So yeah, I think that would be a real viable move for esports to do. But of course, they'd have to be very selective with how they did it. They'd have to run some sort of player program, whatever it is that they call it, in order to make sure they select the right people, because that's dangerous ground to go into with your brand. That's you're putting your brand in the hands of other people, and so you've got to be very careful. But that is an interesting point. I think we might well see more of that soon.
Mm-hmm. Susie, you got anything on this one?
I'd like to see more of it, honestly. It's just figuring out how to do it the correct way, the most beneficial way, which is not going to be easy.
Right, absolutely. I do think I do agree they should allow more people to do it, more smaller communities, because like even for someone who played Siege for a long time, and I took it pretty seriously. I wasn't trying to be a pro by any means, but when I would try to watch Pro League Rainbow Six, it is a very different thing to be watching, and it can be really confusing even for someone who knows like what every team and every individual player is supposed to be doing. It's a lot to take in all at once.
Yeah.
And that could be really like disengaging for people who are trying to watch it for the first time. Like if you watch it and like you don't understand anything of what's going on, you're probably not going to stick around much longer. So if you can find a smaller community that you like that's able to restream that and explain what's going on more in depth than a shoutcaster is, that could grow your audience by a lot. And that goes the same with football, because there's still people who don't understand all the rules of football. Well, why did this guy get a flag? And if you had like a smaller community that can talk to your chat and explain the rules and everything, it could just really broaden audiences in all sports or esports.
And another solution to that I've seen done before is Dota. They have the huge TI tournament every year. It's the biggest cash prize in esports, and for the last few years they've run sister channels on Twitch, which are more aimed towards, depending on how knowledgeable you are about the game, so they'll run another channel that's more for intermediate players and another one that's for beginner players, and in these channels they spend more time talking about how the game works and the mechanics work, rather than just talking about the game itself and what's actually happening on the screen, rather than just commentating the action. So it might be that they could use a system of recasting with people, or sister channels might be an opportunity to go as well. But even with those sister channels, that still opens up for lesser known casters, lesser known streamers who are connected with the game to have opportunities to be part of the community in a bigger way.
Absolutely. I think it'd be very, very cool. I think a lot of people would really be interested in doing it, more so than like restreaming TwitchCon or E3 or anything like that. You know what I mean? Because as much as gamers on Twitch and everything and streamers are interested in those things, it's not the easiest thing to be restreaming by any means. Very like, oh, this looks cool. Like that's pretty much it. It's whether it's hype or not. And like, because I've done it before with TwitchCon, and it's very, very difficult to be doing, as opposed to if I was doing it for a football game, it'd be much, much easier. Yeah, I'm really hoping that they do stuff like that in the future. It'd be just an absolute blast for me, and I know a bunch of other content creators would love to do it. Looks like we're open for questions right now. So chat, if you have anything, just make sure to @ me or @ True Gaming, or you can join up in that Discord right there. Go into join here waiting room, and I'll send you a friend request, and we'll pull you in. You'll get dibs on the first question. Necro, I don't even know if I want to read that right now. I just saw that in the chat, and I'm like, I should probably read this one before I actually say it out loud. And I'm glad I did. Necro, I love you. You're a good dude. That's a weird thing to say, but yeah. So,
oh man. All right,
man,
so
that was interesting.
I'm not sure. Dog, do you follow the Premier League at all for soccer or football? I'll call it football because I call it football too.
Not anywhere near as much as I used to. My team's Celtic, Scottish football.
Yep. Fair.
So I'm not.
I really want the Premier League and any other major like football league to come to Twitch. That would be lovely for me. No,
I mean,
why not?
Well, like now, I'm not saying that it shouldn't happen. I'm just saying that the chances of it happen are extreme.
It's zero. It's zero. It's zero.
Like right now, the bidding war that goes on between BT and Sky, and I think BBC have a certain amount as well. The bidding war that goes on there is crazy. It's wild. The numbers that are going around for for exclusive rights, and unfortunately as well, football has got at the very top end. Anybody that takes any real interest in football's very corrupt at the very top end. FIFA recently with a whole lot of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff. So the chances of cracking your way in are very, very slim. Plus, as I was saying earlier as well, the take up for football is huge in this country. Or I should say soccer because I know we're largely talking into it. I'm very confused. But so the take up for younger people watching football is huge. It's massive. Like, it's what most little boys are talking about. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if they have the same issues with getting to the younger market, as what I've just reading earlier about the NFL, the issues that the NFL have had. So I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm all for the more stuff that's on Twitch, the better. And the more stuff that's on other, not just Twitch, but on Mixer and other streaming platforms, the better. The better for all of us. Better, healthier competition. I just don't know if the Premier League will ever make it here, just because of how much of a closed shop it is. But it would be interesting to see. It would be interesting to see.
Yeah, I know there's a hockey league, the National Women's Hockey League that streams on Twitch. And yeah, it's really cool because it's like watching a regular sporting program just through Twitch. And I think one thing that really is untapped on Twitch is that like sports market. Because I'm not gonna lie, I would love to watch more sports. I just don't own like a cable TV, and I'm not gonna pay $47 a month for whatever like Sky or NBC or ESPN to watch maybe 3 games I'm interested in. Like, that doesn't no. Because a lot of times people go to watch sports, at least for me, I go out to bars and friends' houses for like the big events, like the Super Bowl, I don't watch sports.
That sports ball game. That one.
Okay.
But yeah, so I do think we need more special events, and translating that into what other streamers can do is, I think if more streamers did more planned event streams, that'll be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. We got a question from Iculus in the chat right now. He says, I'm trying to make myself stand out a little more in this crazy world. I DJ weddings on the side and was tossing around the idea of doing 1 day a week of live mixing music. What are your thoughts on trying to branch out into this new sector? Kind of a broad question, but something I've been thinking about doing. So we'll start with Susie. There you go.
I think it would be amazing. I love music altogether. I don't know anything about how that could affect you copyright wise, but I know that they're trying to work with more music stuff in different ways. Because if there's a game where you can mix in the game, you can use it.
Yeah.
But I think it would be really great. I love watching the music creation streams.
Well, this is right up my street. My degree is in audio tech. Do it, Iculus, absolutely do it. There are not a lot of people DJing for a start, but most importantly, it's something you enjoy, right? I keep saying this to people: if you do something that you enjoy on stream, people will come back to watch you. As much as even if they're not really into the idea of DJing. People want to experience and join and share that joy that people have. That's a huge part of streaming. It's that connection, that seeing that joy in people is a huge part. So absolutely do it. I think to touch on what Susie was saying about the copyright stuff, I think you're okay with DJing because it's a live performance. You're changing the music itself. It's not just playing a track, there's an actual attempt to do something different with it. So I do think you should be okay, although please don't take my word as absolute gospel there. Do obviously look into it.
Dogg Gaming clearly said I'd be fine.
Absolutely do look into it, but I think you should be okay. But absolutely do it. Definitely do it. Put the stuff that you love out there on and share it with people. Share your passions.
Sadomi?
Okay, so I just created a small content plan for you because I love doing that.
How many things are you prepared for today, homie? It just pops up randomly. It's like, I'm already on it, dude. I've been on this for like 3 days.
We got this.
If you didn't know, I planted Inculus to ask a question at a certain time, so Anyway, Inculus, what I think you should do, mind you, I don't work in the music industry. I don't know nothing about music except what sounds good to me. So take this with a grain of salt. But what I think you should do, if you want to, since you do DJ weddings on the side, I'm assuming it's like a side business, side hustle. You can use that with your Twitch streams and your music. Let me start from the top. So what you want to do is use your streams to create kind of a portfolio for yourself too. Like try new mixes, do things up, put on your best show, and then use that and show people, hey, I do weddings. This is what you'll get. Like, boom, right here. You watch the whole VOD. If you like it, you got me. If not, I have other things, show it around. Also, take those mixes and whatever platform will allow you to post them and not shoot you in the neck. Post them. Hope it's a discoverable platform. Use that to gain traction, and use that to help build more and more reach. Hopefully, get more wedding clients, and then boom. Like I said, it's very, very basic, but I think that's a nice. That's a nice pathway to go along.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I mean, anything that you enjoy doing, like Dogg Gaming was saying earlier, anything that you enjoy doing, do it on stream, and people will appreciate you just enjoying your time being there because it'll show 100%. And like Susie was saying, I think it was Susie was saying, is that not many people are doing this on Twitch. And it's a really cool thing for people to be watching. It's like music mixing. I know there's a couple people that do it, and it's really fun to watch. It's very cool stuff. And I think whatever you want to do, you should try it out. Just see how it goes. And I would do it more than once a week, honestly. Yeah. I would do it, 2 or 3 times a week minimum, and have it set on a regular schedule. Yeah. Just because you'll want those returning people. If you could do it 5 days out of the week, I would do that as long as it's at a consistent time each day. Yep. More return, the better. And like the more consistent you are, it's all so important for sure. But yeah, dude, definitely do it up. That sounds really cool. I know I would be interested in checking it out because any sort of music mixing is always somewhat entertaining for sure. I think we're open for questions right now too, Stu.
I always love questions.
Yeah. We love questions to your chat. So if you got them, let us know. And if you don't, then don't let us know. Think of some right now. Let's go. But I've definitely seen some people do music mixing on Twitch before, and I know somebody just got partnered.
That's right.
Yeah, she was trying to get partnered for a while, and she ended up putting a mix together, and then said, "Give me what I want" at the end of the mix, which is pretty cool. And she ended up getting partnered out of it. That was really fun to watch. So it's cool that people are doing it successfully on Twitch. So it's not like you'd be like the only one doing it. It's not like there's no audience or anything. There's definitely an audience for it on Twitch.
I mean, there's always an audience for music, regardless.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
There's always an audience for music.
He says, "Thanks for the advice, guys. Would you think like an hour at the start and then go into gaming, or keep them completely separate?" I would say keep them separate for the most part. You know what I mean? Like you can let them know that you do gaming as well on other days or a different time slot. But I would say just do that. I would just keep it at 2 or 3 hours. You know, I wouldn't do anything less than 2. I don't think a shorter than 2 hour stream is very effective in any case. But yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah, but keep them separate so that you can make a big deal about it. You know, make a big, excuse the pun, song and dance on your social media. You know, about
this guy.
You know, this is a music stream. We're mixing. Come and listen to some music. You know, make a big deal of it, because the other thing is about it that can be really beneficial to you is this: by doing a mixing stream, that's the ultimate luck stream. You know, you're just playing music. That's the ultimate. You know, I've come in. How you doing? I'm just got other things to do. I'm leaving you on. You know, having music playing in the background, that's fantastic. So, you know, I would keep it separate so that that people can get that idea. Oh, such and such a time, I can tune in while I'm doing dishes. I don't know, while I'm doing the ironing. There's there's music getting mixed. There's live music getting mixed. I can listen to that. So make it a feature. Be proud of it. Make it prominent. You know. Don't feel that you have to. Oh, I can maybe understand if you feel you're a bit worried people might not be into it. Be committed to it, stick to it, and put it out there on its own, because it will be successful. It might take a little bit of time, but people will be there for it. People will want to watch it.
Absolutely. Sadomi, what's your next topic you got for us? I know you always got something up your sleeve.
Alrighty, next topic for us. This would be a good one to end out on, okay? And this is actually a really nice question that Necro brought up too. So I'm going to cheat off of Necro here. For each of you, when you started streaming, what was the number of viewers did you have in your head that you'll consider a success, regardless of naive you were? For me, personally, it was more than last time. Which you can already tell that did not work out. That does not work out at all. Not at all. So, and the way I view, at least now the way I view success, it's success in whatever your personal goals are. Because let's say someone is having a blast, they love streaming, and they get the same 5 viewers every week, and they literally, that's the highlight of their life. That's like the best thing they do. That's success.
Yeah.
Then you have people who are big time streamers who hate streaming. They don't want to do it anymore. They're tired, but they feel like they have to. If they play one more game of Fortnite, they're just gonna go do something else. I don't consider that success. So whatever the goal, and the goalposts move for success all the time. Something changes in your life. Success might be make sure my kid comes home from school healthy today. Make sure they don't poop their pants. Make sure I have, make sure they have dinner. Make sure, like my shoes make it through the day. Success changes basis on your current goals. And so I know I kind of went around the question, but for me, like I said, my answer was more than last time.
Okay, to just answer, because that's a great answer, and just to answer the question directly, honestly, back then, probably about 500. Probably thought about 500 viewers would be successful. But, having said that, further down the line, I agree with everything that Sadomi has said. I've learned all that down the line. I've realised that was naive me. Starting out on my Twitch career, but yeah, to begin with, I would probably, if I'm thinking back, I would probably thought, yeah, all I need is like 500 views, probably.
Susie?
I'll be honest. I was peer pressured into starting streaming.
No, you weren't.
And-
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie.
I'm glad you did.
Now you're getting peer pressured out of saying that.
Not the same person.
I didn't have any expectation. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing. But I feel the same way Sadomi does. I don't think that I ever had a number in my head where I was like, I need to get this. And other than the True Partner application, because I was so excited to be able to apply for True Partner. So there's 15. 15 is success. But also, if you're enjoying yourself, if you're having a good time, if you're happy, you're successful.
100%. I think for me, because I didn't really know what I was getting into. Like, I saw Chin the Tatman do it, and I was like, he looks like he's just having a blast, and like his chat was having fun with him. Like, he was trolling them, they were trolling him, and like it wasn't really about like this guy has, like 4,000 viewers at the time. It was only 4,000, only lol. But it wasn't really about the numbers necessarily. It just looked like he was having a really good time doing something that he loved, that he could also do as a job, and he was entertaining so many people. And so for me, it was just about like, can I keep entertaining people each day? You know what I mean? Like, everybody wants to grow. I'm not going to say that the numbers didn't affect me, because that's 100% a lie. Like, what I would have liked to have hit is, like, I guess at the time I was thinking, even like 20 viewers, as long as everybody's having fun. Like, I was happy to see that. But yeah, so I think it was just whether or not I could entertain people, which it still is. That's still the main focus. You know what I mean? I tried really hard at the beginning of me streaming to like focus on like the longevity of it instead of like the instant gratification of something.
Yeah.
I focus a lot on like, what happens when someone sees me and say they do see me on Twitch, and then they see me IRL. Am I going to act the same IRL as I do on Twitch? Like, am I going to put on an act on Twitch? I've thought about all this stuff like crazy, which was really weird. This the first time I've ever actually put a serious amount of thought into something as far as like a quote unquote job, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was mostly just about entertaining people for me, for sure.
Belly won't take selfies with you if he's smiling.
I'll take I'll take selfies, but I'm not going to smile, mainly just for Susie, because it's hilarious.
Everybody else's, okay?
It's so funny. Susie does not have a picture of me and her and me smiling. It doesn't exist, and I love that. It's perfect. It makes me so happy.
I somehow get the feeling that 25% of this call just now doesn't feel like that's perfect situation.
Yep. So let's see. We got about 5-ish minutes. We might as well just wrap it up here. I don't think we have any more questions.
I'll add one thing though, because I want to add this too. So when I did first start streaming, if you want to go back to when I first started in 2011, 2010. Yeah, around there.
God damn.
Yeah. So I didn't really do it straight through by then, by the way. I got kicked out of boarding school when I was in 10th grade, and I came back and I didn't have any friends or anything, and I was on 4chan. And I found this dude on 4chan who was streaming games on this platform called Livestream on his own like janky ass like free website maker that's now infested with like computer aids. And every time I came there, I was like, cool, this is fun. Let me try doing it. And I tried doing it. I didn't have any goals for that except for make sure my laptop could run. Like, I was running NES emulators and I was struggling. It was bad. But my goals then were just have fun and get people from 4chan to, talk to me, which was, Jesus Christ, why'd I want that?
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
Well, with that being said, I think we're gonna call it. Mr. Dogg Gaming, pleasure having you on the show again, my dude. Good to see you as always.
Thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it.
You want to give your outro? Tell people where they can find you and
what they should
expect when they do.
At Dogg Gaming. My Twitch is Dogg_gaming. When you come and find me, you'll always find someone that is struggling to find games to play just now. No. No, we're starting a new journey, so if you want to come and see someone start out on a new journey as a variety streamer trying new games every week, then come and join me.
All right. Miss Susie.
Oh, hi.
Oh,
you can
hello.
find me on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram at SUEZ_QQ. I sculpt things, mainly booties.
Sculpts the booty.
Not
All
my
right.
booty. Other booty.
Other booties. If you want your booty sculpted, SuezQQ.
I specialize in other people's.
All right. Sadomi, what do you got for us, man?
Everyone, thank you for tuning in to the True Gaming Podcast called StreamKey. My name has been Sadomi. I am the best homie in the world. We focus on self-improvement. We focus on being the best person we can be. And this is just the start of the Sadomi redemption arc. So thank you. Normally, I am live at 1:30 p.m. EST on Mondays, but today I'm not because I got to clean up because if you guys can't tell, this room's disgusting, so we got to fix that. But yeah, thank you for coming by.
For sure. Pleasure having all of you guys. And I'm Belloc_TV. That's Belloc_TV on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat if you don't want me to respond to you. And yeah, I play a lot of EFT. It's so true. And yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching and coming in and asking questions and everything. We love answering your questions and helping out as much as we can. If you have any more questions, make sure to hit us up on Twitter. I believe it's just stream_key. You can join the Discord as well and ask questions there. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, Monday morning, 11 a.m. EST as always.
Yes.
Thanks for watching and blaze up.
Blaze up.